What's going on, everybody? This is the PWZ podcast. We are back here after a brief hiatus. I'm Rick Del Santo, and joining me, as always, Showtime, Marcel Williams. What is going on, my friend?
What's going on? We are back. I'm back. Rick Del Santos. You've been on with guests and stuff and catching up on the news of NWA and all this other wrestling news. But we back at it again. And I decided to sit here and come back on a special occasion, and that is Survivor Series War Games.
The first ever War Games, the first ever War Games on the main roster. Survivor Series has never had a War Games match. It's usually been the traditional 5-on-5 or 4-on-4. There's been many different incarnations of the Survivor Series since the original in 1988. They went from 5-on-5 to 4-on-4 to just standard matchups. They had a tournament for the title one year, and then it at some point it ended up becoming a brand supremacy. So it was always Raw versus SmackDown for the last God knows how many years.
Yeah, and plus a fun fact: the Survivor Series pay-per-view name was almost demolished a few years ago, where it didn't draw one year. It was going to disappear off the calendar, but it survived. At no point intended.
How did that end up happening? Explain.
Well, I guess it didn't draw 5 or 6 years ago. I think it was under. I think the last one that didn't draw was the triple threat between Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and John Cena. And then you had a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship as well. So it didn't draw as well on pay-per-view buys. But I guess the powers that be decided to change Vince's mind. And we still got the Survivor Series kicking. But now we got a twist. We had a lot of twists with the Survivor Series year after year. But we got War Games, like you said, on the main roster. A debut. We have seen it on NXT for the last few years. But this one, the old man had to leave to make it happen, and we got War Games on the main roster.
Of course, this was started in 1986 or 1987?
1987, July 1987. Okay. This is right here, the original videotape of the Great American Bash 1987. Now, I just want to put this out there that my grandfather introduced me to wrestling by watching WrestleMania 3 and this videotape right here. So I was introduced to War Games off the rip. So this is a very special videotape for me right here.
I know you posted that, and I said that I had rented that from the local video shop numerous times as a kid, a young teenager, maybe even pre-teenager. And I had absolutely loved that. I probably rented that every couple weeks or whatever, just because it was awesome, man. It was just a very great video.
Yeah, there's a fun fact about this videotape. So my grandfather lost his, and I kept asking for it. He couldn't tell me where it went to. So I ended up, when I was starting getting older, started accumulating videotapes. And I looked online when they started giving out videotapes of certain events. And I found this, and I found the original cover. So I will forever keep this. I will forever keep this until the day I die right here. This is a very special videotape for me.
I want to say hello to Eric Hunting from Parts Unknown and TN Couponer, two gentlemen that always tune in, and thank you for being here for our, I guess, so-called reunion show. Or welcome back show.
Yeah, welcome back show. My guy, Eric Hunting, is in the chat as well. Thank you for tuning in. And before we go on with this review, I want to say thank you for returning and tuning in after this big event to review this whole event. And I appreciate y'all. And if y'all here for the first time, thank you for joining us for PWZ.
And if you're here for the first time, jump in the chat, say hello, ask any questions you want to ask. We're here to say, communicate with y'all and here to talk professional wrestling. And but tonight we will be talking WWE Survivor Series. I was looking forward to this one a lot because this is one of my favorite events of the year. There's always something interesting that happens. Um, I thought it was a very good show for the most part, but we'll break it down match by match as throughout the hour. And let's start with the first match. It was the Women's War Games match. It was Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and Mia Yim defeated Rhea Ripley, Bayley, Nikki Cross, and Dakota Kai and Io Sky.
Yeah, was the opener for Survivor Series, and it was what it was. A few little spots that was miscued. I felt it was too many weapons being introduced. Burning time, because they only got 2 minutes after the 5 minutes, so it was burning time of them sitting here struggling, having a match with the weapons to get in the cage. But it was a solid opener where it needed to be. There's only a certain amount of limits that I would expect from women wrestlers. Don't at me. Don't think that I don't think women can do what the men can do, but they kind of can. But there's certain limitations that they can do. So, and I enjoyed this opener. It was what it was.
Tia Couponer says Women's War Games reminded him of the TNA lockdown match. I could see that. Yeah, there was a little bit. There's a lot of, I guess, with the introduction of weapons and such like this, there's a lot of cheesiness, I guess you could say, in this match. Some of it was overdone. It might have reminded me more so of a Glow women's match.
Yeah, not only that, the things that bother me as well, because NXT had that issue as well. We got 2 rings. There should be no more than 3 or 4 people in one like each ring. You got everybody all in one ring, and then you got the second ring is empty. That's not the purpose of War Game. The purpose of using these 2 rings, and it's a war. It's not enough for 1 ring, so that's why the reason we got 2 rings.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
Yeah. Lewis and Ray are also in the chat. Hello, gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys jumping in. Like I said, any questions, any comments, go ahead and leave them. We'll read them out, provided they're not offensive. But even still, we might. This match I was really looking forward to, AJ Styles and Finn Balor. This kind of left me a little irked. I didn't think it was nearly as good as it could have been.
Well, this is a second meeting between these two. Their first meeting was a few years ago on No Mercy, and that came as a surprise because obviously it's supposed to have been Finn Balor versus Sister Abigail. Well, Demon versus Sister Abigail, and Bray Wyatt came up with the mumps, so they ended up calling AJ Styles down, and he ended up facing Finn Balor that night, and Finn Balor came out with the win. But this is a second outing, history behind him. And I'm just going to say one thing as well. Michael Cole continues to educate people like they're supposed to. Now we fully understand that the old man is not behind the gorilla now because he's going education-wise with the Bullet Club, with all the titles that AJ Styles has won, Finn Balor has won. And I appreciate that education because you got to have all the education possible to give these fans because they never started a career in WWE. They had a life somewhere else as well.
They referred to the IWGP title several times throughout this match, and of course, like you said, the Bullet Club. And yeah, it was quite enjoyable. Did you notice that he's improved greatly since the man is not in his ear over the last few months?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we've been missing here for a while, but I have been watching a few weeks of WWE television. You tell the difference with Michael Cole. He's more renewed with his commentating, and just by him sitting here educating fans what they need to know. And I know Rick Del Santos know, but a regular WWE fan that don't watch any New Japan, any TNA Impact, anything, they need to be educated. These guys is not rookies. These guys are seasoned veterans, and I appreciate the education that Michael Cole put out there.
That's why they're on the bigger stage. This is the like we've referenced it before. It's the Coca-Cola of professional wrestling, the McDonald's of professional wrestling. It's got that brand recognition. So
Yes, it does.
so
It's the end all be all.
yeah. So of course these guys work their ways up through various organizations over the years, nationally, internationally, locally, and boom, they earn their way to the main stage, and that is WWE.
And also, shout out to Eric Hunter. You're right. I didn't get to that yet, but Michael Cole did educate the fans about war games. You
Yes,
know,
he
any
did.
other time it would have been, oh, it started here and all this other stuff. Michael Cole sat there and said where it came from. It came from the Crockett Promotions. It started in 1987 in July, and it was Michael Cole is on point now. It's just great.
Yeah, yeah,
Speaking of commentary, before we go to the next match,
sure.
what do you know about? What do you know? What are your opinion on the Raw commentary team?
Who's on there now in the last few months? Come on, throw it at me because I'm not a full time watcher lately.
It's
As
it's
of late,
it's Corey Graves and this the other guy, the English guy. I forgot his name. If the fans could help me out because I watch every Monday. I forgot his name just that quick. But I thought you've been watching where you listen to commentary a little bit.
no, I've been out of the loop on the actual television. I do follow, everything online and have been. But now that we're back at it, I'm going to be watching every week. So it's just been, yeah. Oh, Wade Barrett, that's right. And the Nexus, Wade Barrett, is that him or is he on?
Nah, Wade Barrett and Michael Cole is on SmackDown.
Okay.
But I know one of the fans are going to Google it for me and find who's the commentary team of Raw. I know it's Corey Graves, but I forgot the other guy name. He was commentating for main event as well. But we didn't talk about the first match, which was War Games. The winners was Bianca Belair team and Rhea Ripley. Isn't she the hottest woman star right now?
She's insane. She's insane these days. Everything that's going on with her and Dominic and she's just killing it out there.
Did you see the video for Thanksgiving?
I think I caught it. I think so.
Where Rey Mysterio got attacked at his own home.
Oh yeah, he's laying around on Thanksgiving wearing a mask.
Yeah, he had to his wife had to close the door real quick so he could put his mask on for the camera.
That's just crazy, dude. It's hilarious.
Great stuff because how many times have we thought about how families, when they have their problems on screen, how do they celebrate the holidays? And that was great.
Yeah.
He beat up his dad.
Oh, he's very annoyed with him. Team Cooper's got a question here. Let's put this up because this is actually a good question. Mm-hmm. It is. Do you think Bianca is the female version of Cena? Go ahead and take that.
I don't. I really don't. The only person I really thought was kind of like the Cena getting the Cena treatment was Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is, no matter what situation it is, she somehow ends up in the main event of WrestleMania or somewhere around it or any main event possible. So I would say Charlotte Flair is getting the John Cena treatment. Bianca Belair, she's having that babyface good run with the championship, which is fine. But we already know who she's grooming to drop that title. So I see that dropping into Rhea Ripley.
I'm a fan of hers. I have not gotten sick of Bianca yet. And, it's been a couple of years now. Is this not going away? Okay.
My guy, Ray, Kevin Patrick. Thank you. I didn't want to be on my phone while I'm talking to y'all guys, looking down, trying to go at it. So I appreciate Ray. Thank you. Kevin Patrick.
Let's go to the women's, the SmackDown Women's Championship. 7 minutes, it was Ronda defeated Shotzi. One thing that I thought this was an okay match. It was nothing fantastic, but one thing is that I thought was the completely, utterly ridiculous was, and I'm sure you're gonna understand what I'm talking about here. The spot outside where she did the crossbody off the barricade and landed on some plants, on some fans.
Yeah, they had to
Did you?
get that spot in. They had to.
Yeah.
This
It
match
just
was what it was.
it was not a very convincing spot. They laid there and sold it like they got shot.
Yeah,
Like
they did.
it was so it
They
wasn't
got
very convincing.
they got paid for it. It's all set.
Yeah.
They they got paid to act like they got shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you
It
thought
was
of this
all right.
match is set up? Do you think that the women's division is kind of thin for what it was when for them to go for Shotzi?
They're not really it's if this was 2 years ago, the women's division was like an extremely hot thing. It
Mm.
seems to have, like you said, thinned out. It's not as hot as it once was in the last couple of years. Uh, yeah, I don't know if Shotzi was necessarily the right choice for this match.
Yeah, she been having her issues with certain spots from past matches, and I kind of think that they couldn't. It was an opportunity. There's always an opportunity
Yeah.
for somebody when somebody's out, and she had an opportunity tonight, which was good. But the match was what it was. It's just to build up Ronda being dominant with Shayna Baszler for the next competition. But we had to have a women's championship match on tap for this pay per view, and that was one of them.
Yeah. I mean, this was really centered around the two War Games matches, so it really was.
And it was smart too. I mean, past events like WCW and NXT, they'll have 5 or 6 matches. This one only had 3 matches in between. It was kind of like a Rumble card.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. We had this match, I thought, best match of the night. The United
Yes, it
States
was.
title match.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And United States title match did not go the way that I thought that it was going to go at all. We have a new United States champion. Austin Theory defeated, I guess you can say he defeated Seth Rollins. And interesting. Um, yeah, defeated Seth Rollins, pinned Seth Rollins in the triple threat match to become the new United States champion. And I thought this was match like spot after spot. It was just very good.
Yeah, this match. I already knew it was going to be a good match because you got Bobby Lashley, who can work with anybody, but also you could work around him as well and make him be in certain spots as well. We already know Seth Rollins with his history, what he can do, and Austin Theory. I'm a big, awesome fan of Austin Theory. Austin Theory is the future of WWE. It doesn't matter whether he could be a babyface or a heel. He has the talent. He has the attitude. And this match right here, this triple threat, it was match of the night.
Yeah, I mean, this was just. Let me ask you this: did you think the crowd was overly quiet, particularly quiet throughout this entire event?
Yes. So you're great. You're a great segue person.
Well, I heard that they
So-
also shut the mics off at one point because the crowd mics off because they were chanting for Sasha, but it just seemed that they had been like the crowd was not overly into the entire show. And if you thought that this would be the exciting match that the crowd would freaking go nuts for because it was like exciting throughout beginning to end.
Yeah, you heard it like at the last of the at the last
How many times I got to
moments of the
block
match.
this person?
I don't even know. He's breaking records right now. Like our former fan that he's get blocked.
Yeah, what happened to that guy? Anyways, yeah, let's go for it. Go. You were talking about the crowd. Jonathan Sardi, hello and thank you for tuning in. Been a long time since we've seen you. Been a long time since we've been here, but thank you for tuning in.
But yeah, the triple threat match, you started seeing them get hyped up towards a few final moments of the match. But I have to say as well, and I mean, the last few weeks on Raw and even AEW in general. And I know we're not talking about AEW tonight, but this is just the only cameo it's gonna make tonight. The crowd is like off the chain quiet at certain. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's the mic work. I don't know whether fans are just tired and seeing the same stuff. I don't know what's going on, but for some reason the crowd is quiet in certain situations. Like I heard them during the women's War Games match every once in a while. I mean, I understand them sitting here trying to like ed out the Sasha chants. I expected that, but Boston got to understand Sasha is busy. So Sasha is that's a good thing too. Sasha and Naomi are busy. They're doing good outside stuff. They doing the New York Fashion Show week. They doing premieres. They doing all that. So we need to cool that down. They're making money on the outside. So
what's Sasha making? What's Sasha making? Something like $200 per autograph session, or per autograph in autograph sessions, something like that.
$200 per autograph. That's how.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe it was $150 or 200. I don't remember, but it's with for photo ops and stuff like that. I just thought that was freaking insane.
Hey, she's a hot item. I respect your opinion, but she's a hot item. She gotta make her money somewhere. She's not on the regular. She's not on the regular with WWE getting a regular check. So
no, she's done some conventions, and I know that the her asking price was something like, I don't know. I don't want to throw out a number because I'm probably going to be wrong, but the number that I heard at the time, it was just like this crazy, crazy number, and I wouldn't pay that.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, as a convention guy. Yeah. But I mean, you got to understand these people go in there for 3 days, probably 2-3 days, and just sign autographs and take pictures with fans. So,
yeah. But this triple threat match was great. Austin Theory with the win after the spear to Seth Rollins in mid-flight with the Falcon Arrow, and he fell right on Seth Rollins. And for the shocking 3. I'm real surprised that he won this match up here because after the Money in the Bank cash-in, the controversial one that was a few weeks ago, he ended up getting the same title that he didn't get with cashing in. So I guess they starting from scratch with Austin Theory, which is a good thing.
I was quite surprised when that the ref's hand hit the mat for the 3rd time. I like kind of my eyes popped. I was like, "Oh shit!"
The fans on the floor was shocked. They was showing clips of everybody's face. Like, really? Like, but Austin Theory deserves it, man. He's been paying his dues for the last few weeks, being a loser. So,
the last few weeks, more like the last year. I mean,
since he won the briefcase. Yeah, since the old man resigned, he's been getting trashed up. I mean, but he deserved this one. This was a very good match, and they put 3 of the most talented individuals that's on Raw in one match, and it made up for it. Yep. For the United States Championship. It wasn't even for the main championship. For the United States Championship.
I mean, the United States Championship does have a very prestigious history. So
it does, and for the last few months, since Paul Levesque took over, it's been a very important championship, just like the Intercontinental Championship, and that's a good thing because these championships been treated like trash for the last few years.
I mean, this is look at the way the tag titles were treated since the 90s. Vince did not care for tag wrestling, so it was just belts that were there. He had to have them, kind of a thing, because it was a tradition, kind of a thing. So he didn't care about that stuff. So
he didn't care. It's crazy that he didn't care, but then you had back in the 80s and 90s, like the top teams ever. Like the Hart Foundation, Demolition, all these people, and then all of a sudden later on, you just fell out of tag team wrestling.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about the greatest tag teams in the world, and then he just goes to not caring, no pushing, and there's no identification with tag teams these days, or there wasn't for many years under Vince. It was just a guy and a guy. There was no when we grew up, there was like a brand, like a tag team recognition. Like there was 2 guys, they wrestled similar, or they had the same gear, they had a name, they had a gimmick. That stuff didn't happen over the years.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, now, I mean, let's rewind that back because NXT before it went to rainbow colors. Triple H had a good tag team roster going on with his NXT, and then all of a sudden they go to their main roster and get broken up. So it was some type of effort to have some tag team wrestling early on. It just didn't work out.
Got a good comment here from TN Coupon. Since Roman ain't defending the world title so often, WWE needs to raise the value of the US and IC titles. I agree with that.
I
agree
agree
with
that.
It would add a lot. Yeah.
It makes the universal. Wait, is it the unified universal?
No, I think it's the WWE Universal. I don't know.
WWE Universal. We'll figure it out. But that title is special. Is special now because is Roman Reigns is special as well. So I appreciate the we early on in the months we did have some issues with Roman Reigns taking time off, but he has done more work than Brock Lesnar did when he had the championship. He still does certain shows, which makes sense, and he still show up to every pay-per-view that do need to be pushed, which is Survivor Series, SummerSlam, and I at first I didn't like it, but I agree with him with his schedule that he's making that title special.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of Roman, I guess you can say the Bloodline defeated the team. Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch. Of course, earlier in the evening and throughout this week's Monday Night Raw, they were doubting Sami Zayn's loyalty to the Bloodline. Tonight, he proved that. He gave a nut shot to Kevin Owens and then kicked him square in the face. And what's your opinion here?
This story with Sami Zayn and the Bloodline is the greatest thing on TV in all of wrestling. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Okay.
The story is being told every segment, every tidbit, every little small thing that you think Sami Zayn gonna get caught with, he doesn't. Even early on in the night when Jey Uso basically questioned Sami Zayn and told Roman Reigns that he was talking to Kevin Owens. And, we should check him out. You should question him. And Roman Reigns said, I'll wait till I see him eye to eye and I'll ask him. And then later on, we segue to Sami Zayn sitting here telling him that he's part of the Bloodline, that nobody's allowed in his locker room but the Usos and Solo and himself. So he proved his loyalty tonight. He gave the ball shot to Kevin Owens and boot to the face, and then gave the pin to Jey Uso, the right-hand man. And then at the end, we see the hug that sealed it all. Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, hugging. Bloodline is together for now, but I'm just going to put it out here right now before Rick say what he got to say. They're going to tear Sami Zayn apart once they get their hands on him. I'm just going to put it out there right now. Like I said earlier to my wife when we was watching this, it's like a cattle that's setting up all these cattle for the group of lions. And then when that one day he don't bring a certain amount of food for these lions, they're going to tear that cattle that's been bringing that food limb from limb. And that's Sami Zayn. That's what's going to happen.
I expected that there was a chance that it was going to go the opposite direction. But I think that's what I do. Like, a small chance. But I think that that's what they want people to think. That it was going to go where he was going to, team with Owens and turn on the Bloodline. But
absolutely.
They want you to believe that. And I was just like, no, it's too obvious. You know what I mean? It would be too obvious. So the fact that he did turn completely on Owens I wouldn't say it was a surprise, but it added so much to it. And as Team Couponer and Eric here say, that this is the greatest storyline going in WWE right now. It really is. It could be comical at times. It could be it's really good.
Hey, between Sami Zayn trying to make the Usos laugh on live TV is the greatest thing on TV ever. And especially when Jey Uso is really trying to hold his head and cover his face and have that
Yes.
mean look. But this storyline is so crazy because this storyline is supposed to end it a few months ago. Like it was
Yep.
nothing. Now, since the whole power done changed, they are milking this all the way to WrestleMania. I'm sure it's gonna make it all the way to WrestleMania.
Tian Couponer says, since Elimination Chamber 2023 is in Montreal, could Bloodline turn on Sammy there? That is where Sammy was born and raised. Do you think that's possible?
I can see that happening, but I also, since I like seen Jey Uso hug Sami Zayn, I can see Jey Uso really getting comfortable with Sami Zayn. Then all of a sudden, when that turn happened, he's gonna look shocked, and he has no choice. Even though he wanted to beat him up before, and destroy him before, now his feelings are involved now, and I kind of feel like Jey Uso is going to be like kind of like pissed off that he had to destroy Sami Zayn, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Did you see Roman's face at the end as they were going off air?
Yes, I did.
You think that he was not fully convinced in a way?
He has his reasons, but I got a feeling that we got Royal Rumble coming up, and sooner or later, there's so much story that can be involved with this Royal Rumble, and I can't wait to see whether Roman could trust Sammy or not. But since we going into the Rumble, who do you think is going to challenge Roman Reigns for the Rumble? I can see Sheamus challenging him and getting that title shot.
You think they're going to push Sheamus towards that? I mean, Sheamus is like white hot right now too.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's white hot. Then you always the Royal Rumble is kind of special with championship matches. You always can give somebody that opportunity to have a championship match, instead of them being in a Rumble match.
What about Gunther? You don't think they would give him the shot yet, or you think it's too soon still?
It's too soon.
You think? Do you think that he'd be up? Do you think that he has a chance to get up there at some point?
Absolutely. If Roman's not on top, I could see him being there.
Yeah. Interesting. No, it is, because that's like one of my top choices to move forward. Let's see. Eric Hunting said, I would love to see another Sheamus title run. It's been a few years. It's been quite a few years since he's held that title. So
yeah, it has. I mean, Sheamus has went through a roller coaster of career choices. I mean, he had an injury in the past that had him out for almost a year almost, and then he made his YouTube series of working out with all the WWE superstars, and now he come back white hot, sitting here doing classics with Gunther, and I can see him getting a title shot, getting that title opportunity, not winning it, but just getting that title opportunity.
Yeah, maybe putting on a hell of a match.
Absolutely, Roman need that.
Before we get to go anywhere else, we're the Rumble's coming up. It's always a wonderful show. I mean, not wonderful, anyways, there's always it's one of the shows I look forward to the most.
Last year Rumble match wasn't too good, was it?
No, last year's. Okay. That's what I was saying to my wife as we were watching this tonight. It's the Rumble match is always one of my favorites because you always get some really great surprises, with the exception of last year's, when I was sorely disappointed with any of the surprises that they had. Was last year's when they had Bad Bunny in? Is that correct?
Yeah, they had Bad Bunny. They had Shane McMahon sitting here being in the Final Four. Yeah. You had Sasha in there for a cup of coffee. You had so much things that went so wrong for last year's Royal Rumble, but this year, yes, my guy Tian Couponer, 1992 Rumble match was the greatest Rumble match ever. It was great.
I'm gonna go back and watch that match tonight. I sat there and watched the very first Survivor Series last night. put on 1988 Survivor Series.
God bless you.
Well, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. 1988 is to me it was one of the best years of for the WWF. So the
Only
the
reason
talent,
I don't the only reason I don't agree with Survivor Series 1987 is
or
because
maybe it's yeah.
Starcade 87 was better, even though they try to like compete with them on the same night. I like the Starcade 87.
Well,
Flair and Ronnie Garvin in the cage was really a classic.
that's an awesome match. That's an awesome match. Um, so who do you think might have a chance of being surprises in the Royal Rumble? This one here, I'm gonna go with Jonathan Sardi's comment here. Cody returns Matt Cardona for one night at next Rumble. I agree. Rumor is that Matt Cardona does want to be, he is interested in coming back, but if he comes back, he wants to be Matt Cardona, not Zack Ryder, because he's invested so much in the Matt Cardona, the character. And, he's Matt Cardona himself has gotten such a large following since his release.
I agree with that. If he's gonna come back, he's gonna come back as Matt Cardona. He didn't make money with Zack Ryder. He did actually. Let me take that back. He did personally, but career-wise on TV, he has made his money on Matt Cardona, and I can see him doing a one-night only type gig. I see Cody definitely coming back. Absolutely, I can see Sasha even making a return for the Rumble because it's something that she has more time for going forward where she could schedule around that. I see a lot of really like special, especially with Triple H being involved. I see a lot of special appearances happening at the Rumble.
Can I throw one out there? Y'all might think I'm insane for this. You ready?
Shoot.
Nick Aldis. I told you. I knew that you were going to laugh.
Nick Aldis, this guy, he had the nerve. I just don't want to get into the Nick Aldis thing, but he keep on burning his bridges that he fully don't want to keep together.
Yeah, my guess is that he and Mickie James will both be in the men's and women's Rumble. It's just my theory. You can say that I'm wrong when it happens, when it doesn't happen. So
yeah, it doesn't happen. You just never know in this wrestling world right now.
Yeah, I just have a feeling if he's truly done with the NWA, that he will pop up in WWF, in WWE. Excuse me, there's no F anymore. In at the Rumble. So it's just a prediction. So could happen, could not.
This is the most successful Royal Rumble to date. They have had over 1 million ticket sales for this San Antonio event for Alamo Dome. Third appearance at the Alamo Dome, by the way.
Okay. It's going to be huge, right? This show. It's going to be an amazing show. Yeah.
Huge.
I'm looking forward to that. So what else is going on? Why don't we talk some Marcel Williams? How's that sound? You got a little problem with tell me about this Alan Compass gentleman. He attacked you at Type 1 to None with a crowbar.
Yeah, we're going to give some PAPW some cameo here. Yeah, so basically, I did get attacked by a crowbar by this Alan Compass guy, and somehow I got injured during that match as well. So basically, that's why I couldn't make an appearance tonight for PAPW Unchained. So sooner or later, when I get cleared, I will take care of some Alan business and take care of some Jared Diaz business. And going forward, I get some payback soon. But now I'm on the injured list. I'm trying to get better right now. It's been a long few weeks. So sooner or later. I don't like to put my business online like that, but I had to because I was advertised. So I had to give some people some answers while I'm not there. But sooner or later, I'll be back.
Was there any update as to who won the Unchained tournament tonight? I have not looked online. I don't think that they posted about it.
I think it was. I think I heard it was Buzz Blissall. He won the Hercules Hernandez trophy, second ever winner.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, That's it. You you have anything else you want to throw out there? Anybody got any questions out there before we?
Yeah, I'll take some questions if y'all want to talk about some WWE or some questions. I know we did not sit here and talk about Full Gear because I really wanted to do this return for War Games Survivor Series. But Rick, what do you thought about Full Gear before we head on out of here?
It was a decent show. It was not a phenomenal show by any stretch. I thought that MJF and Moxley, it seemed to be too obvious in a way. That certain things were going to happen, and that he was going to win the belt, and it just seemed to go way too short. It was just like, oh, that's it, the match is over, that kind of a thing. So it was kind of a as great as those two gentlemen are that I didn't think that it lived up to the what it really could have been as far as a match goes.
We're gonna make this little split real quick. T and Couponer, and I also know as well, we do got Triple H on a press conference right now for the Survivor Series press conference after show. If any news come up, we will bring it up later on soon when we come up online again for another show. But yeah, Full Gear was it was what it was. It was a long show. It was shows that did not, and I say it once again. There's matches that be on the show that don't need to be on there. They could put it on regular Dynamite or even Rampage
or Dark.
That's crazy. I didn't say that far. Yeah,
I'll say it. What happens to the Blackpool Combat Club now in AEW from T and Couponer? My guess is that, do the gentlemen stay together, or what's going to happen there? That's a good question.
I can see them branching off a little bit. I can see we've seen some wedges in between with Willa Yuta and Bryan Danielson. So we could see them try to spread apart. I mean, I'm kind of tired of them versus the JAS. I'm burnt out with that. It should have been the end all be all should have been for Blood and Guts, and it wasn't. So, so I guess Blood and Guts really was the end of a rivalry.
One of the things you said that the show was too long. I agree with you, especially for it being on a Sunday evening. Okay. Imagine me and you trying to cover that on a Sunday evening when both of us have to wake up really early in the morning. That's just ridiculous. And to me, it's inconsiderate to be doing it on a Sunday evening. I would not mind, as much as I love professional wrestling, I would not mind watching a 5-hour show if it was on, say, a Saturday.
Absolutely.
But like you said, that with AEW, people get tired and they just you can tell when the crowd is lost after a while because the show is going too long.
Yeah, they started getting burnt out, and then because it was crazy because when I was watching Full Gear, I was sitting there, I was like, dang, the main match that's been drawing this crowd into this event as we was coming up was MJF and Jon Moxley, and then all of a sudden I'm getting burnt out. I'm burnt out by the time I get to the end of this match, and I really don't got no feelings towards this match no more. I'm waiting for this pay-per-view to be over, so I fully understand. Even it was even messed up to the Acclaim because the Acclaim is the most hottest thing on the roster right now. And the thing is, when we even got to that match, the crowd was dead. I even sat the YouTube sensation, Mr. Beast, sitting there looking bored as crap after like the 8th match because he's like, "Dang, this event is too long." Do you know Mr. Beast?
I got kids, man, that are that age that watch that guy. I know who he is.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you know Mr. Beast.
How do you know it? Well, do your kids watch it, basically?
Nah, actually, he just pops up on my YouTube feed, and then I just click in and see him give out money like it's water.
Yeah, why can't he give me some of that? Like this guy buys houses and then all of a sudden gives it to a dude and decorates the whole inside of the house. Like,
we gotta We gotta be at the right place at the right time, guy.
It's just crazy. I'm gonna start stalking the guy. Maybe he'll give it to me.
Hey, I did. He did have a issue because it was a few weeks ago on TikTok. Basically, he was supposed to come to his grocery store,
Yeah.
and he didn't come to the grocery store because security wasn't that good there, and the store was a mess. You had people that had 2 carts full of food trying to. Hopefully, he helps them buy it, and he didn't show up, and they just left it all in the aisle.
Oh my
You
god.
can imagine the workers that had to clean that up.
I would have been pissed. I work in a grocery store. So, yeah, but these, like I said, I don't care about like long. They just put too many matches that shouldn't be on the show. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. I mean, the Jarrett and Sting match that could have been on Dynamite as a rating pusher.
Right.
You could have sat there and put that on there. Nyla Rose versus Jay Cargill. You could have put that on Rampage. You could have did something with that.
Or
A
Elevation.
lot of these matches could have been put on TV. You could have at least 8 to 7, maybe 6 matches. It may not 6 because you pay like $50 for the event, so it should be about 8. Keep it at 8.
What about keeping it for 6 matches for a show and having them decent length matches? There's nothing wrong with putting on a really good 3-hour show. It'll keep the fans wanting for more, coming back for more. It's these 5-hour shows that tire people out that are just going to be like, man, I got to leave. I was watching, who was I listening to? Somebody's podcast. They went to the Dynamite show in Bridgeport and they said probably about a half hour in, an hour in, their kid wanted to leave before the even Dynamite went on the air. So they ended up just, going home. And I mean, I get it because it's a long night when they're filming stuff before and they're doing all that stuff. I went to the last Dynamite that was in Bridgeport and it felt like it was an extremely long night.
Hey, I went to the Grand Slam, the first one, and it was long. And especially knowing sitting there, you got Rampage coming up right after Dynamite, and it is a long process. It's so long, it's not even funny.
But, this is it. This is a good comment here. Khan is trying hard to please all the talent. Well, I tell you who's not pleased is FTR. They're very happy. They even made reference to not being on the pay-per-view, the day of the pay-per-view, with a picture of one of their NXT highlights. So, did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that. It's unfortunate. You like Eric Hunter said, he is trying to please all of them, but you can't please all of them. You can't have them all on the card. That just goes for the WrestleMania today. Like I remember when WrestleMania, I sat there in Orlando, Florida for like almost 8 hours because you had a big pre-show and then you had the 5-hour WrestleMania, which is now 2 nights, which I can't stand at all. Sooner or later, it's going to change because I know Wrestle Kingdom is now 1 night. It's now 1 night, Rick. So that means WrestleMania is going to be 1 night, and that'd be great. Then I could go because I'm not going to this one. It's 2 nights. I can't do it.
I don't mind the 2 nights. The thing that I had with when I went to last WrestleMania I went to was 35. It was damn near 9 hours between the pre-show matches and the main card. I wanted to die. I fell asleep twice. Yeah.
People got stranded at a train station.
Yeah, and I didn't. I was able to. My car was right there. I got there early enough, parked close enough, and I zipped right the hell out. I was home probably before. I was home before anybody because that was only like an hour and a half from my house. That arena.
Yeah, it is.
So it wasn't that bad. But yeah, not to. Yeah, I would never do that again. But a lot of people they shut down public transportation at a certain time, so a lot of people got stuck there forever.
Yes, they did.
They couldn't.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So is there anything else you would like to throw out there before?
No, sir. All I gotta say is we will be back. It won't be every other month. We will be back, but we may do something different where we review everything within a week because there's so much stuff that goes on. We got lives as well, but we love being on here. We want to review everything that you love, even the indies. So sooner or later we will do one show where we review everything. Make this a long episode, not 5 hours, maybe 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, but long enough where you go have a bathroom break.
Yes, sir. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Of course, you can see up in that corner, check out our blog, pwzpodcast.com. Like, subscribe, share to our YouTube channel. And yeah, man, you guys have fun. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Eric, Tian Cubano, Jonathan, Ray, and Lewis, and anybody else that tuned in. I appreciate everybody tuning in. And we'll see you again after a while.
Take care.